Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hybridicious episode 3. So I hope everyone is having themselves a lovely holiday season, and it's time for another hybrid. So in net, I decided to go with the Inform Rui Patrizio, as I've had loads of friends recommend him to me, saying that he's the best keeper in this game. And I completely agree. I've used around 6 keepers this year, including the second Inform Ter Stegen, and he beats everyone by a country mile. Whether it's long shots, short shots, one-on-ones, corners, you name it, he saves it. And the fact that he only goes for around 17,000 coins is criminal. In my opinion, to do justice for his in-game abilities, he should be going for around 40 to 50,000. And once again, I am not over-exaggerating. I played around 10 games, and in 2 of those games he won man of the match, and I personally believe I would have not won those games if it had not been for Patrizio's goalkeeping heroics. So overall, a very solid keeper and a must-have for any team. And next we move on to the left center back, and I decided to go with Bruno Alves, as he's a very solid defender and he only goes for 700 coins. So for the price you pay, you get a very solid defender with 84 marking and 86 standard tackle. He's always back in position, very reliable on defense, and he does have the pace to keep up with the majority of players. So overall, a very solid player, and I would definitely recommend him. And next, I decided to partner him with Pep at the right central back position. And last week, I said my favorite defender was Hybridicious. This week, his crown has been taken away by Pep, and it's really no surprise as Pep goes for 12,000, and that is a fairly hefty price to pay for a non-informed player. In my opinion, he does warrant that price tag, as he is one of the best defenders in this game. This year, he has a high defensive work rate and a medium attacking work rate, so he barely ever goes up on offense, always in the right position at the right time. In game, he has 92 stand tackle and 89 interceptions, which makes him a complete beast. Pair that with his pace, and he's extremely difficult to get by. He's also an aerial beast, and he's very hard to win any headers. So overall, a very solid player, definitely the best defender I have used this year, and one of the toughest defenders I've ever come up against this year. And I have come up against your Thiago Silvas and your Sergio Ramos, so that does say a lot. And moving on to the fullbacks, we start off with Joao Pereira at the right back position. And for this team, I decided to go with more attacking fullbacks, and I'll explain more on that later. But defensively wise, Pereira is very poor. He only has 70 marking, which is really low for an 80 rated right back. But he was terrific on offense, and that was the reason why I bought him. He has 86 pace, and he's very agile in game. He also has great dribbling and great crossing. So overall on offense, he is a terrific right back, very good at bombing up the pitch and getting that cross in. But on defense, he did lack his marking, which made his positioning a bit poor, and sometimes he was caught out of position, which is quite annoying. Fortunately for me, I had Pep there to make up for his mistakes. And in the other fullback position, I had Crisquito. And Crisquito was very similar to Pereira. The only difference being is Crisquito is much more solid on defense. And I would go and say he is my favorite fullback this year, as he also has 82 long pass in game, which is really surprising. I remember in a few situations I was able to make a tackle and make a long pass with Crisquito all the way to my left forward, or my left field player, which was awesome. So overall, a very solid player. He has the pace, he has the height to deal with most aerial threats, very solid on defense, great passer as well, and a very solid player. He was very fun to use. And moving on to the midfield, we start off with the Inform Montelivio at the left central midfield position. And this guy was a very, very good creator. I believe in game he has 93 long pass, 90 short pass, and the playmaker trait, which made him able to pick out any pass he chooses to. He also has a great first touch, which is crucial for any central midfield player. And he's also very solid on defense, which is a huge addition, especially for a player of his attacking caliber. He also has a great long shot. I believe he has the long shot trait, which made his long shots lethal, and in a few situations I almost scored. Unfortunately, I didn't take too many long shots, as I do play in Division 1 and I am more of a conservative player, as I'm trying to win games and not score those fancy goals yet. But overall, a very solid long shot. I did take enough long shots to feel his ability to shoot. And he only has 70 pace. Now, Montelivio is more of a possession style play football. He has a great first touch, great passing, but he doesn't have the pace to beat players. So I would suggest him for anyone who enjoys retaining possession and setting up your attackers, as opposed to someone who relies on pace to beat the opposition. So for 22,000 coins, he was a very solid player, and I would highly recommend him. And next we move on to the center midfield role, and in this position I decided to go with De Rossi, as he is a great overall player. I believe in game he has no red or orange stats, which just goes to show you what a complete monster he is in game. On offense, he was a surprisingly good passer and a great long passer, which was a huge bonus, especially for a central defensive midfield player, as I tend to make my central mid in any three midfield formation more defensively minded. He does have a high defensive work rate, so he's usually back on defense, but he also has a great long shot. So if you guys do like to bomb forward, he is definitely capable of releasing the Kraken and scoring some nice goals. He also has a great first touch, which is crucial for any midfielder, as I said with Montolivio. And on defense, he was a brick wall, very hard to beat, a very reliable stand tackle, and he also has 91 interceptions. Now, I will go off on a tangent here and give you guys a little tip which works wonders for me. If you guys play in any formation that has three midfielders, I would highly suggest getting a midfielder such as De Rossi with high interceptions, because what that ultimately allows them to do is survey the middle of the field where the majority of the passes are played and make interceptions, make deflections, ruin the flow of your opposition's attack. And in certain situations, if he does get an interception, he's able to get the ball away, and sometimes that leads to a counter attack. So that's a very overlooked stat. It's very important for a central midfield player, especially in a three midfield formation such as the 4-3-2-1. And De Rossi was awesome. He made around 3 to 4 interceptions per game, and in a few specific situations those led to goals. So it's a very highly usable stat, very, very important. And I find that most people really don't take into consideration the interception stat. So overall, De Rossi was a great player, great positioning, and a very solid player. Very fun to use as well on offense. And finishing off the midfield, I decided to go with Costa. Now, Costa is very similar to Montolivio, as they both have similar stats. They're not too fast, but they do compensate for that with their ability in every other aspect of this game. Great first touch, great dribbling, also very solid on defense, and a very good shooter. I believe in game he has 94 long shot and 97 shot power, which is insane for a non-informed player. He also is a great passer and a very, very decent overall player. I was very happy with the way he played. Now, his only weakness is his 2-star weak foot, so if you're going to shoot, I would highly suggest shooting on his left foot. So overall, the midfield was relatively slow, and they would stay in the middle of the field because the two outside midfielders both had the medium work rates, and I believe De Rossi has a medium high work rate. So that would explain why I decided to go with fullbacks who are more attacking. It was just to compensate for the fact that my midfield would stay more in the middle of the pitch, and I wouldn't get too much offense otherwise. Overall, they were very solid players, very good playmakers, and if they did get any chance, they were very solid at long shots. And moving on to the offense, we start off with the informed Pastore at right field, and Pastore is a magnificent player on offense. In game, he has 89 ball control and 88 dribbling. Pair that with 4-star skill moves, and you have a very fun player to use on offense. In addition, he also has 82 finishing, so he's able to create lots of chances with his agility and his dribbling, and he's also very good at finishing those chances, which is a huge bonus. Now, most people are probably turned off by his 77 pace, and I can assure you 77 does not do him justice. He feels a lot faster in game. Pair that with his dribbling, and he is a very fun player to use, especially on offense. 4-star skill moves, like I said, he's able to do the majority of the skill moves with quick succession, very good at getting by players, and also a great passer. Now, his best characteristic is definitely his positioning. He's very good at playing 1-2s, and he always is able to find a hole in the defense, find open space, whether it's to get a shot or get a cross in. Very solid player. Now, I only paid $14,000, and that's because I got a great deal for this guy. He normally goes for around $30,000 to $35,000. Now, if I had to pay the average price, which he's currently going for, I would still highly recommend him, as he's very fun to use on offense and a great overall player. And moving on to the striker position, I decided to go with the informed Milito, as he has been very reliable in previous FIFAs. In game, he has 99 finishing, which basically says it all. This guy is a finishing master. Get the ball to his foot, shoot inside the box, and it's most likely a goal. He's able to shoot and finish under duress. In a few situations, he had 2-3 defenders behind him, pulling him back, and he was still able to finish. He's also a very solid passer, so he's very good at playing 1-2s with the left and right field players. Great dribbler as well, and he also has 93 reactions. Now, reactions are a fairly ambiguous stat in this game, as most people don't know what they do, and I have done quite a bit of research, and to my understanding, reaction goes hand in hand with dribbling and ball control. Players who have high dribbling and ball control will benefit from having high reactions, and reactions also dictate how responsive a player is, so it's really an important stat. It does make a difference for most players, as you guys will notice, and notice very quickly if you guys go on Foothead and search up more of the higher rated players such as Messi. They tend to have higher reactions, which is one of the reasons why they feel better than the majority of the players. So overall, a very solid player, very good in the air, very good at playing 1-2s, and he definitely has the pace to beat the majority of players. Now for 40,000 coins, I'm not sure what his average price is, as I bought him very early. I'm a big Milito fan, but I would pay upwards of 50, 60,000, as he is a very solid striker and very fun to use on offense. And moving on to the final position, I introduced to you the in-form Francesco Totti, and he was a fantastic player to use, definitely the most fun I had in this team. And I know most people are turned off by his 38 pace and say, he's not fast enough to play left field. He's going to be outpaced by everyone. And I could not disagree more. He felt a lot faster in game. Besides, I really don't rely on beating players with sheer pace. I'm more of a possession player. I like to make cuts, make runs, beat players with my positioning. And Totti was always finding open space, so he wasn't really subject to being slow because it really didn't matter. There was no one in a position to catch up with him anyways. Very good passer, amazing shooter, and his ability to retain possession is just insane. I believe he has 95 ball control in game, so he was very hard to tackle. And he's also very good at playing against players in one-on-one situations. He does have 75 agility and 4-star skill moves, and agility is a very important stat when it comes to beating players in one-on-one situations. So his ability to move in quick succession is very good, very solid player, and overall definitely the most fun I had on offense in this game. Francesco Totti is just so fun to use. If you guys do want to try him out, I would highly suggest him, as he only goes for 15,000 coins and you get a very talented player. So overall, this was a very solid team. It was a bit different from the majority of the teams I build, as I tried to do something new with my midfield being very conservative and my fullbacks being more attacking. Overall, it worked out quite well, as the fullbacks were able to get back on defense and they were very good on offense, which worked wonders. As you can see, the left field and the right field players played more on the inside, and in certain situations it would play like a 2-3-5, which is obviously very dangerous. It was a bit more expensive than the majority of teams I build, but if you guys are looking for a very solid team and you do not mind having slower players, I would highly suggest this team. And for anyone who also enjoys playing that tiki-taka style of football and retaining possession, this is the team for you. So let's move on to the goals. So I just noticed that this will in fact be a 15-minute long episode, and in my opinion that's a little bit too long. So if you guys please could leave a comment with a number which you guys think would be appropriate for the duration of these videos. I believe I did this last year and the mean time was around 10 minutes, which I feel is a better number or a better time for these episodes, as I highly doubt many people watch the entire episode. I believe that YouTube does have analytics. I've gone over the analytics, and the average time of watching for one of these episodes is around 4 minutes, so that does tell me that people do not have a long attention span, and that's becoming quite obvious. So if you guys could leave a number with how much time you would want these episodes to last, that would be awesome, as I do make these episodes for your enjoyment, and there really is no reason in making a 15-minute long episode when no one is willing to watch it. So with respect to the hybrids and future hybrids, I got lots of great recommendations. Guys, keep it up. If you have any other ideas, please leave a comment. I have written them down, and if you don't see them featured in this episode or the next episode, do not worry, I will get there. Unfortunately, I can't make 50 hybrids in one episode, but I have taken them into consideration and I will most likely build them. And right here, I think we have a beautiful pass from Costa. Look at that. That is the mini map right there. I started using that recently and it does work work wonders, and that's just Costa's amazing passing. What a beast. And of course, Milito under duress, man on his back, get off me, what a finish. Anyways, in terms of goal quality, they're not that great, and this isn't an excuse, but I haven't played FIFA in around 3 months, so I am getting back to top form. I feel I am getting back to where I was when I was making videos. Now I just have to incorporate more skill moves and get some better quality goals, but the goal quality will definitely increase, as I believe I just made my overhead custom piece, so that is going to be quite fun to use. But if I don't see you before the new year, I wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, and a good New Year.